Good day to you one and all, and welcome to another episode of the Broad Points Podcast. I am your host, the broad that points, the broad with the points. It's me, Tyler, the lady. I am coming to you this week just absolutely on fire. I was going to record a podcast last week, but sometimes life happens, and then, you just get swept up in the Seahawks and their whole season. Matt is a huge fan of the Seahawks. I'm speaking of the football, American football. The Seahawks, I've been a fan for a very long time. Matt's been a fan for a very long time. Matt was honestly making bets about the Seahawks in August of last year. He's just been so stoked about this season. And as a result, as a fan, but also a loving and supportive girlfriend, I have watched pretty much all the games. We went to a game, we've watched all the games, and I'm here for it. I'm here for everything that they're doing. And so, hey, I didn't record one last week, but I'm recording it this week. So hello. And, I think that this week's fundamental phrase ties in so beautifully with the Seahawks season. So let's jump into that, and then we'll see how the rest of the show unfolds. So the fundamental phrase for this week is mind over matter. Yes, mind over matter, meaning if you do not mind, it does not matter. And the Seahawks, they actually have, they're calling it mob mentality, M-O-B. And mob is actually an acronym for mission over bullshit. And I think that is really, truly just a fun way of saying mind over matter. Like, whatever excuses, circumstances, variables, insert your preferred vocabulary here, you can decide that you are going to focus on your mission. You are going to take the power of your own mind, and you are going to lean into that. You're going to utilize that. And it's, when people say mind over matter, maybe that doesn't connect with you. Maybe you are more connecting with the Seahawks this year, and mission over the bologna sandwich. We don't have to continue to swear all of the time, people. It is, a fun little flair to do, but it's not always necessary. And that is just something that I want to point out. You don't always have to swear. You can, but you don't always have to. The Seahawks, what's going on, right? Mission over bologna sandwich. And what is the mission? What is the mission? Mission or intention? What are you going for? What do you want to see in the world? And there are times when I myself have felt like I have been wandering around, lost and aimless in the world, and having an intention, connecting with a purpose or, the mission for why I am doing something definitely helps to push me forward on my pursuit of that journey. And so I'm so grateful for this fundamental phrase. This week I've really been applying it as well with my own physical journey. Oh my gosh, wow, I've really been on a roller coaster. Let's talk about this. So the beginning of the week started really fun. I was in it. I said, I've got this really cool running hydration vest now. The gym is a little over a mile and a half away. I think I could run there before work and work out and then walk back home. And so that's what I started this week doing, is I ran down to the gym. I did my lifting, whatever I was going to do at the gym, and then I walked home. beautiful way to start the morning. I always feel for myself personally that I love getting those workouts in first thing in the morning. I love to connect my mind to my body and my body to the planet first thing, right? It's almost like when you signal your circadian rhythm with the sun. I just feel like I need to be dialed into all of the systems before I can launch this spaceship. And I've done it without, getting a workout in and, connecting with myself. And I do notice a difference on those days of, we'll say, the flow of things and, what I'm prioritizing on those days. So if I start the day by prioritizing myself, I usually continue to do that throughout the day. There's this idea, right? It's like cannibalism, like the more you consume, the more you want to consume. So started out beautiful. Then the next day I did a hike. Then I did that again. And then I came home, and this was totally my fault. We don't always have to put blame on things, but this is totally my fault. Something had exploded in the microwave earlier in the week, and I cleaned it up with a towel, and then I put that towel in the laundry basket. I really should have washed it right away. Do you know where this is going? Maybe you don't, because this isn't a problem where you live, but my problem is that ants decided that they were going to find the goods in the laundry basket, and so they were making a beautiful ant trail, of which I did not see, and I put my foot right in the path between the closet and the hamper. And that little path that little trail of ants, yes, they consumed my whole left foot, and my foot got completely bitten up by red ants. It was absolutely bananas. Again, it was totally my fault, and I take full responsibility for it. We dealt with it immediately, and the fun thing about ant bites, if you don't know, is it hurts initially, and itches and stings and burns, and it just felt like my whole foot was on fire. The next day is when it starts to look bad, and it starts to swell. And even into day 2, my foot actually looked worse on day 2 of swelling than it did on day 1 after. So it's a fun journey to see. My foot is alive. I am alive. I had to take some rest. I'm happy that I hit the week hard in the beginning so that I could have some rest time to heal my poor foot, my poor swollen tootsie. In between the toes, you guys. They were crawling all in between the toes. There are bites in between the toes. And in the middle of the night, I thought my foot was going to explode. It didn't. It didn't. I'm still here. I'm so happy that I was able to rest, and, waking up this morning, I felt much better, other than just being a woman and having to deal with being a woman from every month. But, that's just comes with the job. And, I opened my phone up to some just really beautiful news. It's really, honestly, I've had a lot of beautiful news lately. We'll start actually by connecting a circle. We're going to call it back. I don't even know how many episodes ago I told you all that I lost my recipe book, and I was so devastated because there were years of recipes that I had written down in there. Disorganized, yes, but there. I found it! Hallelujah! I found the recipe book. The recipe book is in the room with us once again. I am over the moon. I am over the moon. I am so excited to have my recipe book back. And with this, I will say, keep going. Keep going, because you may be further in your journey than you realize, right? I was crushed when I had to get a new recipe book and label it and start sectioning off the sections so that it could be an organized recipe book, which is ultimately how I'm going to release it. So I'm doing myself some favors there, but I had no recipes. And so I was starting over from scratch on the recipe front, and that was it's pretty devastating. So I'm going around, I'm moving stuff throughout my condo, and I lift up something in a place where my recipe book should definitely not be. Alas, there it is. My beautiful, beautiful recipe book. I'm so grateful to have it back and to be making some recipes. I'm actually going up to the Pacific Northwest today when I'm recording this. It's the Saturday before you guys are hearing this. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, actually, when you're hearing this. Hello from somewhere up there. I'm going to visit in Seattle, starting in Seattle, and then we are going down to Mount Hood, Oregon, where I'm sure I will continue to freeze my behind off. But I am taking this recipe book up with me. I get to share these recipes with my family, with friends. Hopefully I see some friends while I'm up there. So, it's a beautiful thing. And now I'm even further than I thought I was in the recipe book department. So all beautiful things are happening here. And I'm so happy to be here. Going back to this morning's good news, yes, we'll connect this circle now. I received an email that I have had 2 pieces that have been selected to be exhibited at the Artposium. Yes, if you would like to see it. The Artposium is happening February 21st at UCR Arts. And the address for that is, there's 2, so you can either go to 3824 or 3834, depending on how you're feeling, Main Street. And that is Riverside, California, 92501. If you want to follow at the Artposium on Instagram, more details are going to be evolving with this. I do believe that it's an all-day event. There's going to be different performances, exhibits, and I think even some workshops. So I'm very excited to go and check it out. It is on a Saturday. For those of us Monday through Friday workers, we finally get a Saturday exhibit. And so very excited. If you are available, if you are around the area and you would like to come and check out the Artposium, more information will follow. February 21st in Riverside is when that is going to be. I'm honored to have 2 new pieces. It's funny because they're new to them, but one of the pieces I actually finished in 2020. Yes, it was one of my pandemic pieces, and it is one of the ones where I felt most connected with myself, and it is of an abstract deer. And this abstract deer painting, it, of course, has a name, and it is Wisdom Through Suffering. Yes, wisdom can be obtained through our suffering, and that really came to me in the pandemic, and this piece was how it was translated. I'm very excited that this piece is actually getting some recognition because I wasn't even going to put it in my portfolio because it's not on a professional canvas. This is me judging myself. Does everybody hear this? The judgment? I was like, oh, it's not on a professional canvas. They're not going to want that. They did. They love it. They want to exhibit it. And so I'm very excited that that piece, which I feel like holds a little part of me, I always, have identified with a little bit of deer. whether that be, their beauty and elegance or their skittishness, right? They get a little scaredy cat. They run away sometimes. Many things to relate to with the deer. You can't say spirit animal anymore, so don't do that. If you didn't know, I'm telling you, don't do that. 2026, you can't do that anymore. It's so crazy. It's 2026. The other piece that I had selected for the exhibit is Breakaway from Reality, and that is a horizontal sunset piece that it is one of a collection, actually, that changes as you walk by it. And so in that particular piece, there are birds and they're in the sky and then fish in the water that you can't see from certain angles. And then as you walk by, you start to see them within the painting. So very, very fun. I'm so happy that these 2 pieces are going to get some exposure, that I'm going to get some exposure and some acknowledgement for the work that I've been doing, because art deserves love. Art deserves exposure, and just being able to apply ourselves, again, just all we have to do is apply ourselves, and we can be selected, right? We can be nominated for our dreams. So keep applying yourself, keep pushing, no matter where you are. And if you need some new shoes to wear to the art posium, it could be an all-day thing. Maybe you want to be comfortable, right? Maybe you want to have a pair of shoes that your toes aren't all squished in, that you feel connected to the earth in. Well, guess what? You can buy a pair of Xero shoes from my Xero affiliate link and simultaneously pay me when you do it. Beautiful. Would you like to do that? Guess what? Here's the link. Xero is spelled with an X. I'll start there. xeroshoes.com/go/Tyler the Lady. And if you would like to follow me, I'm going to be sharing the details of the upcoming exhibit as well. Both on the Broad Points page and my personal page. You can find me at Broad Points or at Tyler the Lady. And if you would like to send me an email to congratulate me on this new exhibit that I'm going to be featured in, you absolutely can. It is broadpointspodcast@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. I love to hear from people. I love to connect with people. Thank you, honestly, so much for listening. And really, truly, the more we apply ourselves, the more our dreams can come true. And I am just happy to be here sharing the journey with you and encouraging some love and some positivity for yourself and your universe. So with that, let's go ahead and say that fundamental phrase for the week one more time. Mind over matter.